morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from the whole wide world. Yes, it's your man Pixie, and I'm back again with another interview with video. And today's channel that I'm interviewing is a very good friend of ours. He is called DJM Films UK. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you very much for having me on, and really excited for these questions you've got for me.
Right, so you're a very talented person. You do fantastic quality videos. You do no copyright music, and you also do great banner work. Hence the one behind me. Dennis has done all my banner work for me. Thank you very much for that. What is your main love? Is it the filmmaking, the music that you make, or doing the banner work?
Definitely filmmaking. Filmmaking is my love, my passion. You can tell a story with a film. You can play with people's emotions and feelings, and you can play with their mind without them even knowing. You know, with the camera movements, the music, and the actors. You know, you can just tell a really good story. And yeah, with music, I do love music. It is my second passion. You know, I do the no copyright music for anyone to use. So if you're out there and you want some music and you go onto my channel and you like a bit of music on there, you'd like to use it for your drone video or one of your films, you know, you're more than welcome. All I ask is to, you credit me in, you know, so people know where to go if they hear the music and they want a piece of music. So yeah, and with the banners, I do enjoy doing that. You know, with the crisis at the moment when we're all locked in, it's creative, something to do. So you know, when you ask me to do them for you, it's like, yeah, not a problem. And I think I've done about 1 million for you now. Is that right?
Now, as you've probably seen in all my other videos, I'm going to ask everyone that I interview, why did you get into YouTube?
Why did I get into YouTube? I got into YouTube because I love telling stories and I love making films. And the only place to do that is YouTube. Well, I know there's other places, but YouTube, that's why I got into YouTube in the first place. Because when I made my first film, D2X, Project D2X, it was my first film. I didn't know much about filming, and it was all sort of self-taught, you know, and I've been watching a lot of people doing what they do, and I really enjoyed it, and I said, oh, I want to be where they are. So that's why I got into YouTube, because I wanted to tell the story. I wanted to make people feel my stories and see what I can do.
What are your favourite videos to make? I know you mainly do horror videos, but are there any other videos you'd like to make?
What videos do I like to make? I like to make any videos, any films. At the moment, I'm into my horror, because you can do anything with horror. You know, you can take people's heads off, arms off, blood everywhere, and you can just do anything with the story with a horror film. And I like making people jump and making them feel that tension. What's going to happen, and nothing happens, and then they don't think something's going to happen, and bang, it happens, you know. And that's when you see them jump, and that's when you know you've done your job right. But I'm into all sorts. You know, I'd love to do an action film. I mean, my first film, like I just said, Project D2X, was a sort of an action film. But action, horror, you know, it's all there. I would love to do even comedy, you know. I'd love to do a lot of things. It's not just a specific thing. At the moment, I'm into horror, you know, because it's, like I said, you can go anywhere with horror, and it's really fun to do at the moment, and I'm having fun with the horror at the moment. But there is other projects coming up that are not horror, and yeah, there is other things that I love to do, but not just yet.
What sort of equipment have you got for your videos?
What equipment have I got? I think it might be easier to tell you what I've not got. I've just got loads of stuff. I mean, I can't even think what I've got. I've got stands, tripods, you know, steady cams, sliders, lights, all different sorts of lights. I've got dollies, and no, not baby dollies, I've got camera dollies. You know, the ones that move automatically, you know. I've just got reflectors, I've got props, guns, knives, you know, and sort of things. I've got everything, every stand you can think of. I've got green screens. I've got green screens coming up my ears. I've got one that's, you know, stationary, and I've got one that's I take, you know, transport with me, you know, the one that I can move around, you know, not put it next to a car or, you know, things like that outside. But it'd probably be easier to tell you what I've not got, and I don't know what that is, because my wife struggles to buy me anything for filming now, because she'll ask me and she'll go through all this filming gear, and it's just, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it, I've got that, oh, I've got that, oh, do I have that? Yeah, I've got that, but I haven't got that. Yeah, I have got that. So I've got everything. Yeah, I think I've got everything.
Now, your bully video, which is awesome, I'll put the link in the description below. Everybody go watch it if you haven't done so already. It's a quality piece of filmmaking, absolutely quality. Your bully video has gone crazy. I don't know how many views it's got now, but yeah, last time I looked at it, it had over 600,000 views, which is absolutely unbelievable. Is there going to be a bully video part 2? Or is it a big secret? Because I know you like to keep secrets on your videos of what's coming out next.
My bully film, Dear Diary, yes, it has gone crazy. I mean, it's just a smidgen under 700,000 views. I never thought when I put that up it would go that far. I mean, it is a sort of a true story. I mean, it does hit the spot when someone watches that, and I think when someone's watched that, you know, they can sometimes relate to it, and they'll pass it on to the next person that has either gone through it or is going through it, and they'll watch it, and then it gets passed on down the line that way. I mean, with that film, when I was making it, we were going through the different stages of making the film, you know, trying to get it as true to form as it could be, and the ending was going to be that, spoiler alert, so if you haven't watched it, click off right now, go onto it because it's in the description, and then come back. Okay, what it was is when the girl committed suicide, I originally was gonna, you know, film a bridge jump, and then my wife went through the story, and she said, you know, girls don't really do that sort of thing. That's, you know, sort of grown-ups. A girl from school would sort of do it quietly at home, and she told me sort of what would happen, and I thought, wow, yeah, that's definitely more true to life, and we filmed it that way. And you know, it is, even though I filmed it and, you know, wrote most of it, and Emma wrote the end of it, even though now I'll watch it and it still gets me, and I made it, you know, so it's doing really well. Number two has been written. Emma did help me write number 2. It's a follow-on, a good follow-on from number 1. It's not like it's a big gap. It's sort of school-based. The first scene is a school scene, but it's a lot of it's not a lot of hassle, but it's hard to try and get a school to give you that permission to use a part of the school. And I've asked a few, and some of them have not got back yet. Some of them have said no. You know, you just got to get that right place at the right time. And yes, number 2 will be coming out, hopefully, if I can get the locations that I need for it. There are certain locations that I need for it to really work, and you will know that as and when and if it does get made. But yes, it is in the pipeline, you know, but I really do need to get the locations to make it a good film.
Now, if you've not seen Dennis before, or you've not seen any of his videos before, you noticed he's got a few of his family members in, like his children and his mother-in-law and people like that. Now, does it get hard to ask them to come in and help you with your videos?
Is it hard to ask them to come and help me with my videos? No. No, what it is they're really good. What it is I'll write a story, and I'll say, look, I wrote a story, and they go, let's have a look, and they'll just look at me and go, so when we're making it then? And off it goes. I mean, when I went down to my mother-in-law's, when we did before we did Haunted, I looked around the house and I said to my wife, I said, we could really do, you know, a good horror film here, because it's an old-looking house, narrow stairs, big downstairs, and a sort of all doors upstairs, so you could just do whatever you know, what your mind lets you do in there. And So I asked my mother-in-law, and she was really up for it as well. Bless her, she was really nervous because she'd never been in or done any filming before. And I said, don't worry, you know, I'll take you through all the steps you need to go through. You know, I'll tell you where to walk, how to walk, what to say, when to say it, how to say it. And she was all up for it. And then when she was making it, she was like, am I doing it right? I said, don't worry, yes, you're doing it right. And she'd never been, you know, never done it before, and she was really excited to do it. And then obviously when I'd got everything filmed and edited, we invited the girls round, we invited them as mum up, you know, and we had a big sort of premiere, and we had a drink, and we watched it, and she's like, wow, it's really done well, because when you're filming a film and you've got the camera in your face and you're asked to do something, and then you see it all together and you see the other side of the camera, you got the music, you got the lighting, you got the smoke, you got the makeup, and you know, it's just a different view from having the camera in your face to being behind the camera looking at the film. And when I asked my family, because they know, you know, it's going to be a good-ish quality film, they're really excited. The girls are excited, but all Brittany's always excited. And I'm sure if I asked any other part of my family, they would be saying yes, because they've seen my work and they always tell me it's good quality work. So it doesn't really take much convincing, so yeah, it's quite easy.
Now, out of all the videos you've done, which is your favourite video that you have made?
Which is the favourite video that I've made? Wow, that's a hard question. Good question. Hard question. Boom. Right. I like them all, obviously, because they all tell a different story. You got sad ones, you got horror ones, and you got an action one. At the moment, I think, I don't know. I really don't. It's a hard question. It really is a hard question. My favourite. I think I have two favourites. I haven't got one favourite. The one is the bully film, because it's so close to real life. You know, it does happen. And I think Haunted, because it's got so many effects in it, and the storyline is quite, you know, quite scary, and it's got the element of fear. And you know, we spent a lot of time on that, and it involves everybody. You know, it involves the girls and my mother-in-law. You know, Emma had a lot of input in the film, the story and stuff like that. So I think that's a good one as well, because that involved everybody. You know, but my new one, The Attic, I do like that one. But yeah, I think them two are my best and my favourites. So that's such a hard question for a filmmaker. Well, especially it is me, because I love all the films, because like I said, they tell a different story. But that's a good question. I like that one. You're getting good at these questions. Very good.
Who is your favourite YouTuber?
Who is my favourite YouTuber? Wow. I don't have a favourite YouTuber. I follow a lot of film makers. I think if I was to pick one out of my people that I follow in making films, it would have to be Film Riot. I mean, they've been going a long time, and they have they have millions of viewers, subscribers. So when I first started, I jumped onto their channel because they had tutorials and they did short films, and their short films are just superb, and that's how and what quality I want my films to be. And the special effects, they break them down, they show you how to do them, and that's how I learned that. How to build stuff for your set if you don't have the money for a certain rig, how to build it, how to put films together, how to do an edit, special edits, you know, to make you think that it's to fool the mind of the audience. You can do special edits, you know, you cut at a certain time and you do something different which messes with the person's mind. And you know, in this is how I got to know how to, you know, mess with people's feelings and their minds without them knowing, because what they told me off Film Riot, They sort of didn't tell me that, they just told me what things to do, and then I sort of saw what happens in a film when you're trying to, you know, play with somebody's mind without them knowing, with the camera movement, with the sound, with a bit of music. You know, they're hearing one thing but seeing another. It's you know, it's a complex thing. So film right would be the one that pops into my head, because any beginner, filmmaker beginner, I would recommend them to start off with, you know, go to the start where they started and work their way up to where they are now. They have just progressed so much, and they've got so far, and they've just got really big now. And you know, that's a good channel to follow. That would be the one that pops out in my mind to say that's the one I will watch. If, you know, if it pops up onto my notifications, I'll click straight onto it and watch what they've got to do and say. You know, it's a very important channel to me. So yeah, I'd say that's my favourite. If I was to pick a favourite, that's the one. So yeah, you've got it out of me. That's my favourite.
Which YouTubers would you like to recommend to other people to go and watch?
What channels would I recommend to watch? Right, another hard question. I'd recommend Donny Shaw Show. He's a funny guy. He's just brought one out called Donny's Date. That was really well put together. It's a little short comedy film. You know, it's like a little bit speeded up a bit, and I mean, he doesn't say a word in it, but it's so funny. I definitely recommend his channel. I'd recommend Film Right, like I said. If you're a filmmaker or want to be a filmmaker, it's definitely Film Right. They're a definite, you know, channel to go and see. You know, there's a million out there. You know, if you want to listen to music, good music, I recommend COAG Music and George Sundancer. They're just professional. They are just really good at what they do, and what they do is really good, because they make the music that you want to listen to, as in if you have a bad day, you just close your eyes, put your earphones on, and just go wherever you want to go. That's what their music does for you. Also, I use COAG music. I use his music because it is copyright free. It's all copyright free unless he states it's not, and all he asks is if, you know, if you make a film with it, or a drone film, or if you're telling a scary story with the music behind, all he asks for is that you credit him in the description or in the credits at the end, you know, which I've always done. But yeah, they're the ones that I really do watch, and they're the ones that I would recommend, you know, apart from your own as well, but they should be on yours if they're watching this. And obviously, my Jeanette's my Jeanette's channel, that's a good channel as well. You know, you got the lives and you got the cooking, so best of both worlds. So that's what I've got on the channel side. I could go all day recommending, you know, channels, you know, but there you go. There's some channels to look forward, you know, to look at and, you know, have a go and probably subscribe to. So there you go.
Now, with your cameras that you've got and everything else, what is your favourite bit of accessory that goes with your camera?
My favourite accessory that goes in my camera. My favourite accessory, I don't have a favourite. I have the best of three that I use most of the time, which is my glide cam, which is a sort of a stick with a handle on the side with two weights at the bottom. So when you put your camera on the top, it sort of balances out. So you can, when you run with it, you don't get the jolting as you run. It's just nice and smooth, and that's where you get the nice cinematic shots. It's just a lot better. The shots are a lot better than all your jerky things. I mean, if you're doing an action film and they're running and they've got bombs going off everywhere, then you want that jerky thing there. So you just want to be held, you know, handheld going in for the shot. My other one that I like is my slider. I put my slider, which is sort of a metal strip of metal like that, and with a runner. It's got two runners on it, and then you mount your camera on the top, and as you're moving it across, you get that nice smooth, you know, sliding cinematic shot, so that is the one I always use as well. And the new one that my wife bought me, which is my sort of electronic dolly, camera dolly, which is it's only about this big, and it's got 3 wheels, and you can have it going in any direction you want. And what you do is you place it on the floor, you put your camera on the top, and then it can go round things. It can go sort of that way, or it can go that way. It's or just come straight back or straight forward. But it's got a remote control with it, so you don't have to be anywhere near it. It's got different speeds on it, so when I'm filming, I can just change the speed if it just needs to slow down or speed, or forwards and backwards, and you just change the direction of the wheels to change the direction of where you want the camera to go. They're my favourite. They're the ones that I use most of the time, and won't replace them, because that's what gives me my shots that I get, and they're my favourite bits of kit, and that's what I always use.
Now I've got a little light here to light up my face and to light the background up as well. Do you have any special lighting?
If I've got any special lighting, I've just got lights coming out of my... Right, I've got lights, I've got ring lights, I've got LED lights, I've got box lights, I've got strobe lights, I've got flashing lights, I've got strip lights, I've got lights galore. If you name a light, I've probably either got it or something very close to it. I've got ones that you plug in, ones that you power with batteries, ones that you charge and you can take out. I've got all different sorts of lights for different sorts of scenes. I mean, the ring lights are nice because they have 3 different colours inside and they're very soft. The box lights are really big. They look like sort of umbrella things, but they're square, and they've got a black outside, but they've got like a silver reflection, reflecting in, a silver inside to reflect the light out. Sometimes it can be quite powerful, so I tend to sort of, if you've got a low white ceiling, I sort of tend to pan them up to the ceiling so it bounces back, so it's a softer light. And my little LED lights, I can put them, they're about that big, they're powered by batteries, you can put them, you can tuck them anywhere just to hide, just to give that little light going up the wall or coming from under the bed. So I've got all different lights, loads of lights, and all different things. But you can never have too many lights. That's the thing. I'm always looking at the lights, and if I like it, and I'll either get it, or if I mention it, my wife will get it for me, because I know them lights are going to be coming in the handy, and at some point, I mean, I might be sitting there for a good couple of weeks or a long time before I use them, but I know I'm going to use them, and that's when they'll come out. And if you go, oh, I don't need that, I'm going to get rid of it, you're going to need it. That is just, you're going to need it, so don't bother getting rid of it. So yeah, it's lights, lots of lights.
What future plans have you got for your channel?
What future plans have I got for my channel? I have loads of plans. I've got, hopefully, like I said, I would like to make a number 2 to Dear Diary, because I know that would do well, because I know a lot of people that have seen 1 have asked, is there a number 2 coming out, or they want to see the bully side of the film. I want to work with some people, Gary Overton from Overton Productions. I'd love to work with him, and we had plans, still have plans if this isolation thing's lifted, and I have a sort of a feature length film I want to do on my with a lot of people, which is an action film. It's got guns, diamonds and fighting and things like that. And there's also, I want to do one, hopefully this would be probably the second one I do when the quarantine's lifted, is Hangman Woods. Now that is going to be a good one. That is going to have a lot of special effects, and that is going to one that's going to creep you out. It will creep you out. Emma's helped me write that, and it's going to be a good film, that one is. So if we can get the right actors and the right location, I want to do Hangman Woods. That would be my next one I'd like to do, either before I work with Gary Overton, or after I've worked with Gary Overton, because the one I've got with Gary Overton is a number 4 of a sort of a group of films that he's made 1, 2 and 3, and I've come to him to make a number 4, and he's really up for and excited to make this number 4, because it'll be a part of his family films that he's done, which are action films. It's bosses and guns, and there's always something going on, and it's about family and what you do for your family. You do anything for your family, and these films show that. And number 4 will definitely show that you would go to the end of the world and the end of your tether your limits to save your family, even if it means that you don't survive, but that is my plans. So it sounds great. I'm just hoping that they get to be produced and made this year. If not, hopefully we can get Family 4 done and work from there, because Family 4, I've got to go and see Gary Overton, and we have to go and see some of the locations because it's in Hull. I have to go and see the locations so I can write. I mean, the story is written, it's just then I can write the story around the locations of that place, and I know exactly what's going to happen in that location, that scene, and exciting stuff. It's going to be great, and I want to do it, and can't wait to start the filming. It's a nightmare not being able to film. Well, I can film, but I want to do films, so, and I can't do that just yet because we're not allowed. So I'm stuck, and all I can do is keep writing while I'm in, whilst we're all in quarantine and this thing is over. I'm going to keep writing, keep making my music, and yeah, that's how it's going to be.
Where would you be or like to be in 10 years time with regards to your YouTube channel?
Where would I like to be in 10 years time? Wow, I'd like to have my own studio. I want to have my own studio. I want to be noticed as a director. I want to have something in my hand saying congratulations on directing this. I want to be noticed as a filmmaker. I want my channel to be either big or very big, because when I'm making films for YouTube for people to see my work and for me to progress as a filmmaker. But obviously, if things progress for me and take me into the next level, then obviously that's where my films go to the next level, and that's probably when I stop putting them on YouTube, and then I start filming some real big productions, with really big directors or producers and actors and in film companies. That's where I want to be in 10 years. If I'm still on my channel in 10 years, I just want it to be as big as Film Riot. I want to have good quality films that you can watch. I want feature films on there, and a good following on there with my subscribers and my views. That's what I want to see in 10 years. If I'm on YouTube, I want to be noticed as a filmmaker on YouTube, and as big as Film Riot is, or in 10 years I want to be at that next level where I'm sort of with the big boys, with big films, big productions. I just, that is my dream. That is my dream, and that's where I would love to be in 10 years.
Which location would you really like to do a movie on?
Which location I'd like to do a movie on? Wow. It depends on what country. I mean, if it was in England, I would like to do a location in Scotland. I mean, the mountains, the scenery in Scotland. I mean, that's where I'd get a really good scene done in Scotland, or that's the sort of thing in the UK. If it was America, you have New York, I mean, who wouldn't like to do a scene in New York? You know, stop all the traffic. You know, DJM Films is doing a scene on this part of New York, and it's like, you know, cars blowing up, you know, and gunmen coming out of a bank or something like that. And then, you know, because DJM Films is filming on that set. Paris, that's a beautiful place, Paris. There's just endless places I would love to do, you know. But if I'm stuck in England, then I know Scotland is cold, but it's got the best views. And like, when you're making a film, it's not just about who's in the camera, it's what's in the camera, it's the background. I mean, if you've got an actor and he's supposed to be in the woods and he's got twigs behind him, but he's in Scotland because he's got these big fat trees behind him, then you know it's going to make the scene a lot better. And that's the location I would have, with the big fat trees and the road, but the road leads to big mountains. You know, it's everything in that one shot that I think Scotland would be the one if I was stuck in England to be in, to get that shot that I would like. The location, I don't know where in Scotland, but anywhere with, you know, them things I want in that scene, because that's what I love.
Alright then, Dennis, my friend, thank you very much for joining me in today's interview. That is the end of the questions. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate. It's been a pleasure. It's been a blast being on here, you know, telling you everything that I'm going to be doing and what I've done, and you know what's going to be happening in the future. Thank you very much for having me.
And that is it, guys. Like I just said to Dennis, thank you very much. His link will be in the description below. He did the banner for me as well, like I mentioned earlier. So yes, thank you very much for that, Dennis. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. If you like this one, please like and share it. Please pop over to Dennis's channel and have a look. You won't be disappointed. He's one of my favourite YouTubers at the moment. Is talented, very talented guy. So yeah, please go over to his channel, have a look, see what you think, and if you do like it, then consider hitting that big red button. And likewise with mine, if you're watching this for the first time, please hit the big red button, like and share and all that lot. Alright then guys, thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.